This is eCommerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward Unlimited. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of eCommerce Uncensored. This is episode number 89. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here as always with
Jason Caruso.
Today we have our second installment, and I know you hate when I say installment.
Yeah, it's episode.
But our second installment, I'm going to continue to call it installment because that's what I call it,
right,
of our Clayvo Boston interview series. What do you think about that interview series? You like that?
Yeah, and this is a funny one. We just listened to it because it's been like a few weeks since we've been there, and it's pretty funny. Like I'm laughing, just some of the things like that we said. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and we were a little bit outside of our comfort zone too. We were out of our little studio area. We were out, which was really cool.
You're an anxious guy.
No, it was cool being out of our, couch area and being able to like talk to some different people than just talking to you every time that we have to do this.
And it was definitely a learning experience. But today we're going to be speaking with Alex, who is
Alexandra Edelstein.
Alexandra. Sorry,
Alexandra Edelstein.
Yes. Who is the senior product manager at Klaviyo. And this is she deals mostly with the flows. And I love flows, obviously, because they're automations that make you money when you're not doing anything, right? So it's like basically you go to sleep and you wake up the next day and these automations have made you money. And what's really funny is that, at this Klaviyo Boston, and we talk about it in this episode, but like they had like these sit downs. You can sit down with different people from different parts of the software, and you can ask them questions. And there was a part almost like in the beginning you guys are going to hear where like I was like asking her all these questions like, I don't like this about the platform, I don't like that, and she'd be like, dude, just like maybe next time try to click this button and then
she made it sound really easy.
She was so elegant about it, and she made me feel stupid in a nice way. And it was pretty funny, and you guys will hear that.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention one thing because we did get a review this past week, and I get very sensitive about reviews.
You just like are very.
I know, I get worked up. And this person made comment about how it's like our podcast is the Clayvo. They actually use some inappropriate words about our podcast.
Right.
And I just want you to understand that, yes, we are talking about Clayvo. We talk about it a lot. We have about 4 podcasts that we're going to share with you over the next 4 or 5 weeks. We're going to alternate in and out of interviews. So just it's not as much about Clayvo. And this event wasn't as much about Clayvo as it was about growing your business and ways to grow your business. So you can even look beyond the whole Clayvo part of this thing and just take all the value that these few people have to offer. And I think it's so valuable, and that's why we're sharing it.
Yeah, it's fascinating because I think the value is, as Kevin said, like they're building all these tools so that you can make more money. And I think it's important for you guys to know because, they do sponsor the show, and we do, if you do go to our link, ecommerceuncensored.com/email, it will redirect you to their platform, and we do get credit for people who sign up, and it's been awesome. I mean, you guys have been awesome. Every day I get people telling me that they've signed up. Every single day, which is awesome. But it's not awesome just because we're referring you guys to them. It's awesome because every time I get one of those emails, I know that this person, if they stick with their business, they stick with their store, and they use Klaviyo the way it was designed, that every single one of these people are going to make more money. Mm-hmm. And that's what it comes down to. And that's why I love Klaviyo so much. It's not because they're a great company, which they are. It's not because they're sponsoring the show, which they are. But it's like it's a tool that allows you to suck as much money out of your customers in a good way, right? Yeah. Out of your customers, without you having to do manual work, per se.
Yeah, and you guys know, for those of you who have listened to us in the past, we like to talk about real life experiences. So it just makes it so much easier to know that we're sharing a tool with you guys that we know is going to work and you're going to have success with.
And it's nice for you guys if you're thinking about starting or using Klaviyo, or if you are using Klaviyo, it's important for you to see like what they're doing behind the scenes and how they work, because everything that they do is making their platform better so that you can benefit from it. So anyway, really funny episode. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't often think that we're funny, but this one is pretty funny because she's so like, I felt like you and I were so what's the word? Like, they're so like,
I don't know.
You know, we sat down with guys from Harvard and Columbia, and like, you know, I went to like Marist College. You went to, where the hell did you go?
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Right. It's like, these guys are like smart people, and Alex is awesome. We really enjoyed talking with her. I love flows, and that's what this episode is going to be about.
Okay, so we're here, day number 2 of Klaviyo Boston, and we're here with Alexandra Edelstein, the senior product manager.
The new.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On your promotion. Before we get started, I just want to say something that
I hate when you never know what this could be. It could be anything.
It could be anything. Well, people listen for me, not for this guy. This guy's boring. But I am more than amazed with the platform, because everybody knows that I love Klaviyo, and I basically tell everybody, stop what you're doing and go to Klaviyo.
Well, we appreciate that.
What I'm more amazed about, though, is the I've been saying this, but the consistency in the personalities of the people that Klaviyo hire. That to me is even more amazing, right? Because I feel like people talk about liking their clients and customers, and they talk about being nice, and they talk about these things. It's just like, it seems like it's a lot of work, but like, I feel like here, it's like you can grab anybody with a Klaviyo staff shirt on, and it's almost, not when I talk because I don't stop talking, but for most people, it's like almost like you have to take them away from you. It just seems like everybody is so nice, and I just have a different appreciation, I think, for you guys in your company.
So why don't you give her a second to talk about herself?
I was about to, but you
introduce
cut her off.
yourself.
Right.
No, well, that's awesome, and I'm glad you feel the way and have had that experience. It's certainly something we strive for, but like you said, it kind of comes naturally to us. Ultimately, everyone at Clayvo is super excited about what we're building, and the thing that allows us to succeed and our product to do well is that ultimately we realize we're just solving our customers' problems, and that is why we are paid. It is my job as a product manager to figure out what our customers need from us, what's hard for them, what sucks today, what's not possible today, and make that possible. And not only possible, but possible and easy. That's my job. So if I'm not out here talking to customers, understanding what they're doing, ultimately I have nothing to build. I can think of ideas, but you guys are the ones on the ground working with customers. You are, everyone listening, you are the ones building these businesses and putting, the pedal to the metal every day. So I'm here to serve you.
And how gracefully you told me I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I basically said, I'm like, it doesn't do this. You're like, maybe next time just press this button and you can get all the information that you need.
Yeah, we went on and on like that.
Yeah,
It's like,
I did.
well, this is the one problem I have with the platform, and Alex would be like, well, just do this.
Right, just do it this way. I'm like, oh.
I told you,
okay.
he's just lazy. He doesn't look into
No,
things.
it's not lazy, and as we were talking about even then, I mean, it's awesome to hear what's good, but it's even more interesting for me to hear what's hard or what you couldn't figure out on your own, since ultimately I'm not always going to be at the table next to you with my laptop, right? So the more I can learn about what could be better, easier, even if it's possible, I go back to my team, we think about it, and ultimately we make it happen.
And I believe that. And that's the thing that it's really like from the top down. I feel like it's like everybody who I've heard spoke, whatever. It's like I really feel that it's true, And it's like, I don't know. I don't think you can say that about a lot of places. And I feel like it's almost like everybody drank the same Kool-Aid, so to speak, right? And it's everybody believes in it for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think what's cool about Clayvo is that a lot of times people are hyped about a company and they're like, oh, this company's growing so fast. This company is so cool. Obviously, Clayvo people are proud of Clayvo, but I think we're all just pumped and excited about our product. You know, we love what we're building. We think it's really cool. We think it's different. And so there's a lot of energy in that. And when we talk to people that use the product, it's the best. And I think we try to find people that have the right kind of energy and are excited about joining the team because what we're building to solve customer pain, to help stores, businesses grow, versus attracted to Klaviyo or the name, the brand, because ultimately we're nothing without the product. It sounds corny, but ultimately when we hire, we screen for that. We screen for people that care about the right things so that we can get everyone here at a conference for 2 days away from their jobs, building and being pumped about it and have that be part of our core values.
And you guys put together, so like we've said, to put together such a great team, and everyone has made themselves so accommodating.
Yeah.
And some people, you get these big companies, like you said, they just hire people to just stand around, but it's literally you can't walk by somebody without them engaging with you, or what's your favorite part of Klaviyo? What problems are you having with Klaviyo? And it's been such a great experience.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify what she just said to people. I think people understand this a little bit better. What she said was that I would probably get hired from Klaviyo or by Klaviyo, and Kevin wouldn't. So that's, I think, basically in a nutshell what she's saying. They hire people like me, and people like him
and
don't
you would
make
last a little while until you stopped working.
Right. Okay, so
both of you seem great. We'd be lucky to have any of you guys stop by.
One of the things is everybody seems to talk so highly of your CEO. It's like everyone's like, it all starts from the top. And he just seems like, I listened to his presentation yesterday, but I haven't got to know him too well. But everybody speaks so highly of him. And that's really, I think, how this thing has become what it is.
Right.
Yeah, Andrew's pretty incredible. And I'm not sure if everyone knows this, he's actually the software engineer that built Klaviyo.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So for a couple years, everything he built, everything that existed was built by him, and everything in the product today, has his fingerprints all over it. And so to have a CEO that not only, he doesn't just believe in the business. I mean, he's the one that saw something that didn't exist and literally started writing lines of code to create a product that solved people's problems. And I think that's really part of why we've been successful and why everyone brings this energy to what we are building, because it comes from the top of just this energy around the product. And yeah, he's a great motivator. Every time I talk to him, I'm inspired by something different that he said. So
yeah, sorry.
Just like you're inspired by everything I say.
Right.
That's cool.
Well, I don't want to hold up what we're going to talk about, because I'm extremely excited about today's topic. I am. I love flows, right? And I know you do.
Love flows.
But one thing that I heard that was pretty funny is does every hire go to him last and he puts the final blessing on it? Like somebody told me it was the entire team can love someone, and that when it gets to him, if it's not the right fit, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely likes to meet everyone and kind of puts them through his own line of questioning. But I think it doesn't kind of
over-exaggerated.
Maybe over-exaggerated,
Right.
but I mean, we all value his opinion significantly. Yeah. But he also has the same trust, and he values our opinions too. So if everyone's like, no, we want this person on our team, we believe in them, we'll have great conversations about the person, and ultimately it's everyone on the panel, everyone in the process that makes a decision together. But I think everyone's probably most nervous about their interview with the CEO, and for good reason.
Right. Okay, so you couldn't even lie then. Fine.
So, all right, let's
jump into flows.
So Alex had a presentation here at Klaviyo
that
Boston.
we unfortunately missed.
I thought was today.
I'm still here talking to you guys.
I know, right?
I was like, I saw her presentation. It was supposed to be at 2:15. And I was like, how is she going to record a podcast at 1:30 for a presentation? She's probably going to want to get ready for it. Like, she's not going to have the time. Turns out it was yesterday. So I completely missed the presentation. And I like to listen to the person's presentation and I'm interviewing just so I know a little bit about it. But unfortunately I missed it. But I looked at your slides, and the main topic of your I don't know the exact title of your presentation, but you had it was structured in 3 parts. And I think it's a good thing to talk about for people who are just starting out, to have because when a lot of people who start Klaviyo or that we get on the platform, they just don't know where to go.
Where to start. They don't know where to start.
Where to start, right. So you talked about, the strategizing, the implementation, and the analyzing. And I thought maybe that you could just hopefully go in. Obviously, don't give your presentation, but if you can summarize some of the points that you talked about.
I've forgotten everything I said yesterday. So, no. Yeah, definitely I can kind of hash through some of the points there. And I think for anyone just starting out, the key thing when you think about automation, everyone hears, I think I should do it, abandon carts, and you kind of think about these flows, these autoresponders that typically get brought up. But I tell everyone to take a step back and think about what email automation really is for. And it's to automate touch points, that one-to-one would be a conversation. You meet a customer, you welcome them maybe to your store, they purchase, you say thank you at the register. If they look at something and start to walk out, you may say, hey, did you find what you need? These are conversations one-on-one that brands can have in the retail environment. When you're online and you're an e-commerce store, you don't have that. If you never reach out via email when someone signs up with a welcome series, automatically introducing them to your brand, that they'll never hear from you. If someone abandons a cart and you don't reach out saying, hey, did you find everything you need? Did you have any problems? That person's gone, and they'll never, so you ultimately have to have those follow-ups, and email automation is your secret weapon because it allows you to do that at scale with your online store. And
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, and that's kind of the premise. So, we actually wrote a blog on this. So if you're listening and you also didn't catch the presentation, go to the Klaviyo blog, and I think it's called "Your Game Plan to Dominate Email Automation." Really snazzy title, but it shows you the visual of the customer lifecycle and kind of walks through some of the key touch points that you can automate to start having those conversations through email automation. And it'll kind of tell you which ones to start with based on your order value. I know we were talking about that. Typically, welcome series, new subscriber signs up, introduce them to your brand, maybe offer a discount towards the first purchase, and then abandoned carts. Those two tend to outperform regardless of your size of your business. People convert, they're excited to hear from you, really warm touch points.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I haven't heard this a lot from you guys, but I think of this more like behavioral type emails, right? Like somebody does this, send them that. Somebody visits this page, send them that. And I'm seeing that browse abandonment cart flows actually work as well. And that really blows my mind, because if I don't buy something, it's often because I don't want it, right? But people send a browse abandonment email, and they work.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, that's the number 3.
That's
crazy. And you're exactly right. It's really behavior triggered emails, and that's kind of the reason why they're so effective, because it's triggered off what people do.
Right.
It's answering, it's having a conversation, it's making it 2 ways when you are responding to what someone's doing. And yeah, browse abandonment is number 3 for flows. So better than win back, better than anything. And we consider these your window shoppers. Right. So if someone's walking by and their interest is piqued, they're kind of looking in and they're browsing around. Even more so, than cart abandonment, it's this idea of, you have the chance to hook them. Right. Maybe they weren't hooked enough to buy, but there's interest there.
Right.
So what would you want to say to that person? Maybe what they happen to look at, maybe that's not the best thing. Because when you're window shopping, you're not really, maybe the last product you looked at, it's almost arbitrary, right? So don't focus on that item, which a lot of people do.
Right.
Don't. Instead, maybe say, hey, thanks for stopping by. Here's some items. Here's what's hot right now.
Right.
Here are popular products. Here's what's selling. And put some social proof.
Well, people like to buy what other people are buying.
People love to buy what other people are buying.
It's crazy.
Say, here's what other people are buying with 5-star reviews and people raving about your products.
Right.
Then that person that walked by will be like, oh man, I can't miss out. That's what good browse abandonment is.
Also, people don't want to feel like, I know I do this. Like when you're shopping, right? They don't want to feel like they screwed up and bought something that they shouldn't have. When other people are buying it, it's like, oh, okay, this just like reinforces the fact that maybe this is a good product, or maybe this is what I should have.
Exactly.
And, I know with like our, on the behavioral thing, right? Like there are enterprise email platforms out there that do a lot of behavioral stuff. A lot of them are custom built and that sort of thing. Klaviyo kind of brings that down to like the everyday sort of stores, right, so to speak. And I know with like our clients, right, like that word behavioral, they love, because they just feel like, oh my God, I'm doing these things like based on what actions people are taking. And it's amazing how it works. It really is on like autopilot.
Well, the best part of it, I was talking to somebody at lunch just now, and we were just talking back and forth about the flows and things. And it really is a no-brainer, and Klaviyo made it a no-brainer. Once you sign up, it's just basically a matter of turning it on. Right, and it just starts to work.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to add logos and that sort of thing.
But it's just not. It's not like, because I think when some people think, oh, I got automations, like I just want to send out email campaigns. Automations, like I feel like that's going to take too much time. And the platform has made it so easy that you can just kind of go in. They have this flow library where you can first of all, you get ideas of flows to use, but when you put your content in, you put your assets in, they're ready to go, and they just start working.
Yeah, that's really important to us, is this idea, like you're saying, there's lots of enterprise tools that, exclusively enterprise, and they just assume you have a team of developers, you have all these people, and that's the old model, right? The old model is, if you want to get this smart behavior triggered stuff, you want to do website tracking, analytics, really everything Klaviyo offers today, and we try to make it easy to use, and when you sign up, you get everything, right? We don't make you kind of the bait and switch. It's like, oh yeah, automation, and then it's like, that's another $500. We don't do any of that, because we want to make it easy to get started with the most advanced technology out there. Yeah. And that's why we built the flow library. Also, we gave you 4 flows, those 4 key ones: welcome series, abandon cart, browse abandonment, win back, for everyone when they sign up. It's pre-built, ready to go. Add your logo, right? Brand it. Don't actually just, take a look at the email. Maybe if you have some, your own tone, your own voice, change up the content. But we didn't want people to stop there. Right. And if something's pre-built for you and it's that easy, it's more like you're more likely to do it. So yeah, we released the Flow library a couple months ago now, I want to say, and you can ask anyone else. I've been wanting to build that since I started, and I finally got to this year, and it's awesome. So fun.
It's awesome also for guys like us who need ideas, who maybe, we don't know everything, and and like maybe we can modify something, but it gives us an idea.
And I think you guys as a team are kind of evaluating what you see your clients, so you're able to push out what you see other people do and work.
That back-end data. I love that back-end data we can't see.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Well, that's the fun part. When we were thinking of the flows to put in the library, especially at launch, you can ask, I literally hounded our account managers, our success team, our sales team. I'm like, give me ideas. What are people doing that you think is the coolest? What's making your clients money? What are people pumped about? And let's create a library, a place where people can go and see the best ideas out there for leveling up automation. And we're continuing to add more and more flows over time to that library. And eventually we might even open it up, make it more community driven. But our goal is exactly that, to make it a place for inspiration. Maybe you don't use the flow, but you're like, oh wow, I can go tweak my existing flow based on what I saw in the library, and then just see better results.
I use it for the triggers sometimes. That to me, because there's some tricky triggers. There's some tricky triggers. Yeah, there's some tricky ones. So I'll just start off with one, then I'll just build it out. But it's it's what I find is crazy about you guys is you all talk the same. It's how could we do this better for them? What's our client experience or our customer experiencing that we can make better for them? It's just everybody talks the same.
Yeah, I think that's just how people should speak when they're talking about building products. Why else are you building, and what else are you doing if you're not thinking about it? But that's easier said than done.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I wouldn't want to work with anyone or at a company that didn't have that focus, and I think it's what keeps the energy up, and it's what keeps us focused on our work, and that's from the engineers to the designers to the it's not just product people that talk this way, and I make sure our whole team works together.
Everybody that you speak with, and it's nice because it seems like you guys can dream something up. Enough people get on board with it, and then you just make it. It just seems like that's
yeah. Tell that to my engineers. Yeah, it just gets built. We
understand, but it just seems like that. You guys are so you're really using this event to get ideas, and you're using the event to figure out how to make the product better. And you're right. I always thought Klaviyo was at a higher price point, but when you see what you get, there aren't any levels, like you said, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, it makes you money. So whatever extra you're spending, it's going to be made. But number three, it's so much more advanced than anything else out there. It just makes sense why it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, typically when I talk about price, and I was at a conference, not our conference, a different one, talking about it, and it's you can walk up to another provider, and maybe the base price is X and it's lower, but then you ask about all these other features and things, and it's oh, well, you'll need to hire a developer to do that, or, oh, that's actually our premium tier, and before you know it, you're all right, this is going to be a never-ending upsell cycle, which nobody likes that. And so, we might come in, the base is higher, but potentially based on your list, of course. But ultimately, you get everything, and you get our live chat, you get our support, and you get events where we since February, every single month, we've been having an event in a different city, completely free,
that's awesome.
to help learn from our customers, train them using the product. We're very community oriented, so. And we build new things all the time. So I think and that's starting to, I think our customers are feeling it. Other people that aren't using Klaviyo are getting a little jealous. They're like, man, you guys are, you're more competitive than you've ever been, and people are making real money. And so that's why we love, what we do.
Now I want to ask you a question, because I know that when people move to an automation platform, it's very overwhelming at first. If they don't have any experience with it, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like, I don't want to say the gurus, so to speak, but I feel like these people who are highly successful tend to make things sound more complicated than they need to be. For example, when you're thinking automation, the first thing that people think about is like these complex, like if-then, like endless if-then statements, or endless like conditional emails. Like, what we're seeing is like simple. It's like as simple as you can seems to be what's winning. And I don't know if that's what you guys are seeing behind the scenes, but I feel like people need to like bring down the anxiety level and build things just that are a little bit simpler. Because if you can't figure out what the hell you're doing, the results are not going to figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does make sense. And I think it's a really good, it's a good tip, especially when you're starting out. Because ultimately there's no reason to go crazy with all these different sequences and if-then logic and 10 different emails in your series. Ultimately start somewhere.
Right.
Just turn them live. They will. I always say the worst thing that can happen is you make money.
Right.
Right.
Because they don't know. The people on the other end don't know what's going on.
Just start basic, just the flows we give you out of the box have no kind of fancy splits or conditionals, or just, hey, when someone joins your subscriber list, tell them hello, send them, when someone abandons a checkout, like ask them why, and if you can help, just start to have these initial, even if it's one email, and yeah, the triggers, it's, subscribe to your list.
Somebody
started
bought
the
this?
checkout process and didn't buy. Someone placed an order and you send a follow-up. We try to make that pretty easy, very visual. And then from there, if you're thinking, you know what, maybe I'll go into the library and I'll look at some of that conditional logic. In the library, we show you a screenshot of the idea so you can kind of get a sense of what it looks like. So maybe you start there, start reading some of our articles online about different ways you can level up. But don't let a fear of, oh my God, all the complexity hold you back from just getting started, because the customer life cycle is a real thing, and you have to start automating some of these meaningful touch
and
points.
Figuring out what the life cycle is, the average order value is. I mean, Kevin was kicked out of our Clayvo account, or I didn't even let him in because of this complexity thing. He created an automation once that we went back to a few months later, and we had no idea what the hell he was doing. So he is.
Well, I like to play. I like to like drag and drop things all over the place.
Move
and
this
see
over
we'll
here,
see what
and
happens.
if they go here, then do this. And what the hell
I
is
was like,
this?
This autumn, it was with a different platform, so it was very confusing. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't know if it's working or not.
Right,
Like people are going through it, I could see it, but they're opening it, but who knows if it's working or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So simplicity, I think.
And that's the key with the flows. Like it's like you see every step, how much money you're making. The stats are just right there for you to see every step of the way.
Yeah, we definitely made a decision to make it a more guided experience. And some drag and drop tools, it's like graph paper, and you have to put things just on the right corner.
Right.
And like in order for it to look nice, or even
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a couple out there like that. And one thing we heard from customers when we were talking to them about it, it's like, I can't show that mess to my boss.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna ask me about something and I'm not gonna know, or I can't hand that to a designer and tell them to put the email here, because the next time they look at it themselves, they're gonna have no idea, So we wanted to create a visual flow that had some defined structure. It gave you flexibility while keeping it organized for you, so you can show it to your boss, pass it off to another team, and so that's definitely a part of it. But like you said, the complexity of once you start adding in split logic, it's so powerful.
Right.
You don't have to, but once you start adding it in, you can experiment at your own pace, and that's our goal, is to give the most sophisticated users out there, most enterprise brands, the ability to do the complex logic that they need and they want, but then also give the opportunity for any business just starting out to learn and grow there and grow to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think people should start out with, this is my opinion, right? Create a flow, and then just do like, has somebody opened, yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they have opened, did they click or whatever, however you want to do it. And then those are pretty simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, it's just like what happened in the previous step,
Sure.
right? Instead of like, did they go here? Did they buy that? Did they do this and do that and then do this? Because you could do that.
Yeah.
Did they visit this page and this page? And then didn't go to this page, send them this email.
Yeah,
right? You could do all
and
that.
like you said, most of the time, you really just don't need to do that. Basic things like, maybe whether someone opened or not, maybe if someone purchased anything or not, you
Right.
either want to continue following up or not. Maybe at the end of a sequence, if someone still hasn't bought, you want to give them a discount, but you don't want to provide that up front for everyone. There's little ways you can use really simple logic to start to build some interesting things in.
I mean, we're doing one right now that's not really working, but the idea is good.
Tell me more.
Yeah, like when somebody buys like 2 times, we'll try to get them on the VIP.
Okay.
Like they bought the product twice, then we send them an email saying, hey, how would you like to get on our discounted monthly plan?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get it to work, but I thought,
Do you need me to take a look at it?
no, stay away.
Do you want me to take a look
Yes.
at it?
Yes, I do. But yes, I mean, that's the sort of thing I think that is pretty cool about it. Like, okay, if somebody meets this criteria, they spent $500 this month, and then the next month, you can do all that. They spent $600, and then like you could start sending them all these different crazy offers depending on what they do, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. Yeah, with loyalty and VIP, I mean, we have fantastic partners in the loyalty space that integrate with our system. But a lot of times when you're just starting out, the last thing you need is just another software program in the early days. And so there's ways you can kind of automate. I saw a really cool flow where, after email number 3, I think or purchase number 3, they said, like, you've just hit the first tier of our loyalty program. Mm-hmm. After purchase number 6, the person hits the second tier. So it's just, you're basically creating your own loyalty program based on the number of orders, and you automate those messages with flows. And there you go, basic kind of loyalty building towards something without needing to worry about anything else, while you're starting out. So.
And people love to hear things like that. Like, oh, I'm on the next level? Like,
Right.
oh,
Whether
look
it
at
means
that.
anything or not.
Yeah, they have no,
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
And it's like, buy one more time and you get 10% off. And it's like, oh, wow.
Someone to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the psychology of the loyalty concept. And it's so easy to introduce small elements of that into your existing marketing without having to go full-blown points, everything like that. So, different ways to think about it.
These flows make you, like, I know they always talk about making money while you sleep,
Mm-hmm.
but really, like, I'll come in and look at all my clients, like what the flows did, like the day of or the day before, and which is cool about Clayvo. You could see all that stuff, and that's awesome. I love looking at, like, if I do like I was showing you earlier, like a Labor Day offer, like for 3 or 4 days, you can see the drop off, like, $12,000, $4,000, $3,000.
Right,
I love
as you keep
that.
messaging.
I love it. So
Have you guys played around with the new analytics dashboard?
yes, briefly, because actually it was just launched. Funny story about this. So we report to our clients every 14 days.
Okay.
And before this came out, you only can do like today. You couldn't even do yesterday. Like it was like today 7 days or 14. Today 7 days, 30 days.
Yeah, on the main dashboard.
And even on the analytics side, there was no custom dates.
Mm-hmm.
So I got on chat and I'm like, I love Klaviyo. I can't do this. He's like what you did to me. He's like, actually, can you go here and then do this? And I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I was just, it's just funny because you're always releasing stuff, and no matter how much you're in there, it's like it just seems like there's something new, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, it's funny going through and meeting people from Klaviyo. It's like you talk to them, and you tell them what your thoughts are and ways that they can improve, and either they actually give you the feeling that they're going to actually go do something about it. Like we were speaking earlier, and you were like, oh, let me write that down. It's going to be weird when then we see it working. We're like,
yeah, but you know what? I gave her
You're
5
like,
things and she wrote down 1.
well, she fixed everything else you asked her right on the spot.
And the rest of it's in there. And that's what's really fun is that this is, you can think of it like we crowdsource ideas in a way for what we build, because ultimately it may not be the solution. This is what I always say when you write it, just tell us about your problem. Like it's our jobs to figure out the very best way to solve it, but come to us with your problems, and that's what feeds into what we build.
Okay. I think, are we running long here?
I don't know.
How long?
I'm not keeping track.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. I know you're not going to give away anything, but I want to know if there's nothing else you want to add. But I just want to know like what you're excited about with the flows, because I'm excited about the flows. I don't know half of what you know, but I'm just interested to hearing from someone who's actually building them and working on them, like what exactly you're excited in, and how does that sort of relate to helping people?
Yeah, I'd say, there's a lot of things I'm excited about, flows and beyond. I think with flows, we want to make more, flows with Klaviyo now, it's not just email automation. It's really marketing automation. We now let you update profiles as they move through flows. You can add and remove properties, collect data as people move through sequences, and tag profiles with that data. And so our idea is to make flows much more than just a great way to automate email touch points over the life cycle. We want to make it an easy way to run your business and to automate more channels of communication, different things happening behind the scenes. So I'm excited to use the foundation we have. We already, if you have a mobile app, we let you do push notifications and flows already, the profile stuff. But you can expect to see more actions, more interesting ways you can communicate and automate your business and that communication through flows. So more actions, more things you can do and automate to just make your lives easier is something I'm pumped about.
And it's you guys don't say this word a lot. At least I haven't heard it, but I think it really, like, you're always figuring out how we or our clients or whoever's using it can make more money.
Right.
You don't really say it that way when you're around here. It's like you say, more useful, more functional, more this, more that. But really what it comes down to is like, how do I make more money?
Yeah.
And I think like at the end of the day, all these little tweaks and changes are what help people's businesses, stay in business or, have other streams of revenue streams. Like it's just like, I think that's really what it comes down to is like, you're always thinking about how can we make our clients more money.
Yeah, another thing before I forget, the predictive analytics, the work our data science team is doing, we definitely want to bring some of that into flows. And so if you're wondering when's the best time for a win back, is it 45 days, is it 60 days? Right now, I'll tell you, test it, right? Create a 50-50 split and test it. It's easy, but we want to make that easier.
You're going to use the analytics of other customers.
Even your own data, when do people typically drop off? What's the average buying cadence?
Awesome.
And if someone goes past it, if people typically buy every 45 days, based on, we have so much data, so we want to bring some of that in and make recommendations, maybe call out when you need to tweak something. So starting to use your data for you so you can be smarter, and we can be smarter on your behalf.
What would be awesome is that like I can log in and then a few notifications come up. It says, we've noticed that your customers buy the most after 20 days, after 5 days, after this, after that. And then the notifications obviously just link to the place where to make that change. Or we've noticed that your customer does this, and then just go like have an easy way to do it. That would be awesome.
Do you need a pad to write that down?
Oh, trust me, that's emotion. That is definitely what we are planning to make, more than possible next year. So
that's
awesome.
That's
where we're heading. We want to go from kind of giving you the tools and making it possible to actually helping you understand what's going on and what you should do next.
Right,
and so
that's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, won't make any promises, but you should expect to see some of that coming to your Klaviyo dashboard.
We'll post Alex's cell phone number on the podcast notes. So
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, we really appreciate you being with us. We're excited about the flows. We're as excited about the product, I think, as you guys are.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe, I don't know. That's not possible. These guys,
Yeah,
they're
they are.
excited.
we're pretty
It's
excited.
genuine excitement too from everybody, which is great.
Yeah, it says like it's easy, right? Everybody you speak with is very excited. So that's awesome. It makes me feel comfortable because, I actually tell people from this podcast to go to ecommerceuncensored.com/email, and it'll redirect to your website. They can sign up. And it makes me feel comfortable to do that because, I'm pretty forceful when I say, I always say, like, stop what you're using. I don't care what it is, and go to Clayvo because you're going to make money with it. And it just makes me feel, good that I can be that, excited about it and know that you guys are as excited about helping them
Yeah.
make money. So
Very
that's cool.
cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. It was
Yeah,
awesome
thank you
to
so
chat
much.
with both
Yeah,
of you.
I appreciate you
a lot of
letting
fun.
me down easy when I had no idea. Like, all right, I was so excited. All right, go get a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you all the things that I think need to be changed, and like all 4 of them you did already. So it kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Well, thank you so
No.
much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome to have you, and thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us your time, and
course.
we will stay in contact with you.
I'll try to make your next
Absolutely.
presentation, whatever that may be.
All right. You
All right.
better. You owe me one.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
All right, so that was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed.
I love the part where she makes you feel stupid.
Yeah. Well, she
really
did.
one of
Like
my
in
favorite parts.
well, I told her like 5 different things, and she wrote. She like wrote down one. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's a really good idea." Like the other 4 suck.
or the other 4 are already done. You just didn't know about them.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Go to ecommerceuncensored.com/email. Sign up for Klaviyo. Shoot me an email. I'll create 2 flows for you. Jason@ecommerceuncensored.com. And
Yeah, you can also join our Facebook group,
Oh,
ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook. We'd really appreciate it, and we'd like to get in touch with you, learn more about what's going on with you guys. So that's about it, right?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been episode number 89. You can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Peace.